One.
Greetings, everyone, and happy Friday. Brigadier General Matt Higer here with Chief Master Sergeant D. Ward-Swanigan, broadcasting from the PA studios at the center of the aerospace testing universe on the last Friday of February 2022. I cannot believe we are 1/6 of the way through the calendar year already.
Right.
It seems like just yesterday I was taking down Christmas trees, which maybe I was. But that's actually not true. But my point is the year's going pretty fast, and there's been a lot happening and a lot going on. We have hopefully 2 to 3 things today that we want to share with you in the town hall. These town halls started, as many of you recall, back when we could no longer have face-to-face interactions, but we still needed the dialogue that would have resulted from those face-to-face interactions as we trended into the pandemic in early of 2020. But I find them, and I hope you have continued to find them, to be a very valuable, reliable time where you can hear from or get information to the senior leadership at the 412 Test Wing every Friday, every duty day Friday at 1300 Pacific. And so we are going to do that as a portion of our broadcast today. I have one topic that literally I hit print on before I raced over here to make the broadcast. The second topic that we're going to do is we're going to try and demonstrate some new technology for you. It's kind of an innovation squared event. The first thing that we want to show you and potentially broadcast to you today is that right now there's literally happening today at one of our makerspaces on base, there's a coding class. And everybody says it's a class. Yeah, whatever. How's that innovation? Well, it's coding, right? I believe strongly, and I think a lot of folks that are digital natives agree with me, that the concept of computer science and the concept of computer coding will be as natural and as basic as math that many of us have done our lives, even if it isn't our primary language. And so understanding how code works and the tools available for you to get something that's actually usable in code is available via innovation teams and innovation classes that we have here, and there's one happening right now. So that's innovation one, but the innovation squared is that the awesome PA technical team that's here at the 412 Test Wing has a new capability that we're going to try to mature, and that is live broadcasting from more than one location. So think, and we're never going to be local live broadcasts, news organizations.
I don't know.
We're never going to be that good because I don't want to be that good. I need it to be as it would be if we were in person dialoguing. But Colonel Gordon is at that location at Makerspace and with that class, and we're hoping to be able to, at some point in this broadcast, bounce over to him, see what he's got for us, and then do a little interaction and a little banter back and forth just as a beta test. And so it'll be an innovative tool from PA taking us to an innovative place and space for innovation. So sure. Innovation Squared is one of those events today. We'll try to use that where it makes sense in these broadcasts and other capabilities along the way, and we can do that with one backpack and one person on the camera, where it used to take a whole team of exceptional professionals to do that, and now we should be able to do it with 2. And the thought is we'll be able to do that during the air show and other big events like that going forward. But we want to learn before we complete that. So that's the second thing we're going to do. And then this is in reverse order, because the first thing we're going to do today is Chief Ward and I are going to talk to you about who your 4th quarter award winners were for the test wing. And so we've got a script. The exceptional executive officer that I have, known as Miss Becca Schweitzer, did this for us, put together the slides and did the scripts. And then she's been on leave all week. So I hope she's had an awesome week of leave. Can't wait to get you back, Becca, all rested and recuperated. And we thank you for the work you did that gets us to this first part of the broadcast today. So, Chief, you got any spin up you want to do before we start going through our Cliff Note cards and ripping open envelopes?
Well, I'm pretty eager to get the announcements out. So I'm excited about all of our award winners. Just like we did the annual awards, we'll be doing the same thing with our 4th quarter award winners. So this is exciting. I know people are probably like biting their nails at this time. So let's not keep them waiting further.
Let's not keep them waiting anymore. All right. So if you can call it the slideshow. Full disclosure for the crowd watching, this is always live. We don't ever rehearse these things. So you never know exactly what you're going to get. But Chief and I are proud to announce the quarterly award winners from the fourth calendar quarter of 2021 for the 412 Test Wing here at the Center of the Aerospace Testing Universe. So if you can go to the next chart, which is the first category.
Yeah, we're starting off here with our team awards, sir. So everybody, these are our nominees for the team of the fourth quarter. Give you guys a second to read through those. Some pretty stiff competition there.
Always.
As always. Sir, you want me to take it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so the winner for the team of the fourth quarter is the project management section from the CE group. The team was awarded the JSE $43 million facility project, which will add 6,730 square meters for the program, supporting F-22 critical testing and readying training capabilities for Navy, Marines, and DARPA. Additionally, the team corrected mission-critical BAF fire suppression system upgrades by being awarded an $18 million O&M project, enhancing safety for over 250 personnel. Congratulations to our team there.
And like no joke, fire suppression in the Benefield Anechoic facility is a huge thing, based on what that mission is in that facility out on West Base. All right, congratulations. If you show the nominees for the test team of the nominees of the fourth quarter, that'd be great. As you can see here, there's another electronic warfare group team there in the BAF. TENG, always a heavy hitting team in this category. The OLA, which is 416th ADCON, but they're actually down in Tucson. And then we also have the SU-1760 Pylon Combined Test Team at the 419th Flight Test Squadron. That program we can now talk to as the long-range standoff weapon, and that's what they've been doing pretty robustly down on South Base.
Nice.
So the winner is, next slide please, the LRSO Pylon, or LRSO Combined Test Team at the 419th Flight Test Squadron. So the SU-1760 Pylon Operations Test Team enabled flight test operations for modernized National Strategic Priority Weapons System in order to achieve national strategic objectives. The team conducts test and safety planning, test execution, coordination with the program office, weapons contractor, Department of Energy, and other DoD agencies to mature and field this advanced capability. During the fourth quarter, you don't want to see me, show them the winning slide. There you go. During the fourth quarter of calendar year 21, this test team adapted test and safety planning to meet highly compressed scheduling requirements, congressional program funding deadlines, and a 75% reduction in B-52 aircraft, while resource sharing one B-52 aircraft with 3 hypersonic weapons programs. In that last sentence, I cannot foot stomp enough. This program is sharing assets with not one, not two, but 3 other hypersonic weapons platforms, and that in and of itself is worth accolades. Congratulations, the SU-1760 test team.
Well deserved. So, sir, I'm learning the hard way that I should definitely hydrate before we come and do awards as we read through some of these.
Yes.
But with that, I guess we can go ahead and get on with the civilian categories.
I'm good.
All right. So, Supervisor Manager of the fourth quarter nominees, please. There they are. Nice representation there. And the winner for the Supervisor Manager of the fourth quarter is Norman Fawcett, 412th Maintenance Group. Mr. Fawcett led Command's largest maintenance standardization and evaluation program, producing 2,000 inspections for 6 squadrons, 2,000 maintenance personnel, and 98 aircraft, capturing 36 test objectives and over 5,000 flight test hours. Additionally, he enhanced the Air Force's most diverse weight and balance program, advancing 57 Air Force Test Center and test and acquisition programs. So congratulations, Mr. Fawcett.
Congratulations, Norm. Our next category, Science Engineer of the Quarter. You can see a total, if I'm counting right, 6 nominees. All of these categories are highly competitive, and all of these names that you're seeing in the nominees are all winners at their group level already. A huge accolade.
Absolutely.
Civil Engineering Group, Electronic Warfare Ops Group, Test Engineering, Test Professional School, and one from our safety shop. But only one can be the wing winner, this quarter at least. So if you could flip to the next slide. It's Aaron Wenner at TPS. Mr. Wenner directed over 80 hours of lab instruction for 48 students, enabling an advanced understanding of electro-optical, infrared, and radio detection and ranging mission system capabilities. Additionally, he forged a partnership with the Virginia Polytechnical Institute, securing high-tech, specially designed, small, unmanned aerial vehicle, which replaced costly training missions and avoided a cost of in excess of $1 million. Congratulations, Aaron. Very proud of you.
Awesome. Our next category is Specialist Analyst of the Fourth Quarter. Here are the nominees. Looks like we have 8 there.
I count 8 again, yes.
All right, cool. And the winner for the Specialist Analyst of the Fourth Quarter is Mr. Eichenhofer from the 412 TENG, the engineering group. Mr. Eichenhofer resolved a T7 Alpha safety of flight mission configuration issue, guaranteeing critical test points were completed and enabled an envelope expansion for the $9.2 billion program. Additionally, he orchestrated a Greece F-16 mission configuration by collaborating with flight test engineers to define and correct requirements to enable the execution of the $270 million project. Congratulations.
Well done, Adam. I spent, I think it was just 7 hours of my day today working T7 stuff. So Adam's not the only one that's heavily involved and invested in that program. Great job. Our next category is the program or project manager of the quarter. I see a total of 8 nominees in this category as well, all winners at the group level already, and you can see the represented organizations there. And I will tell you that program and project management at a place like this is no joke. When you look at what we do everywhere from civil engineering group to test projects and other things like that, it's really an impressive and often unsung crowd of heroes. So let's give a chance to recognize these 8. And now the winner, Kevin Thorne at the 412th Test Management Group. Mr. Thorne led the long-range standoff missile team to a first B-52 separation control test vehicle guided release, ensuring a major step in the $100 million acquisition Category 1 test program. Additionally, he was the long-range standoff senior material leader requested for the first separation control test vehicle launch. The test team condensed 2 months of work into 2 weeks, and I would add, not skipping any corners in safety or technical rigor, meeting a very important congressional deadline. Congratulations, Kevin, and well done.
Well done. Up next, we have the staff technician of the fourth quarter. So we got our nominees up there. There's 9 this time. And the winner is, from the 412th MSG Mission Support Group, Mr. Fair, Marcus Fair. Mr. Fair drove Deployment Control Center operations for the first 412th Test Wing readiness exercise with COVID limitations. He led accountability and transportation for 28 passengers and established new wing mass deployment requirements. Furthermore, he rapidly deployed 25 defenders by developing the deployment requirements and manning document, schedule of events, and transportation coordination, resulting in boots on the ground at Task Force Holloman in less than 10 days to support 5,000 refugees. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Mr. Fair. And let's not kid ourselves. We've often thought, especially in the if you look back the duration of my career or Chief's career, that deployments were always downrange or to some other AOR or to a different country. But you know what we accomplished, bedding down tens of thousands of refugees in the CONUS in the fourth quarter of last year was impressive as a Department of Defense, impressive as a nation, and it doesn't happen without experts like Mr. Fair. And the other thing that I want to highlight is that we've often talked about deploying and executing in a contested environment.
Oh, yeah.
And no joke, COVID is a contested environment. So well done, Mr. Fair. Congratulations. Our next category is trades or labor of the fourth quarter. Civil Engineering Group, Mission Support Group, and Ops Group have the 3 nominees. There they are. Our winner of the fourth quarter is Mr. Matthew Fairley from the 412th Mission Support Group. Mr. Fairley was vital to a 6-member KC-10 load team that downloaded 4 9,300-pound cargo for the Netherlands Royal Air Force aiding the Joint Service Test Mission. Additionally, he led 2 ammo shipments consisting of 650 pounds of munitions on a safe and secure route, protecting over 12,000 personnel at Edwards Air Force Base and supporting Texas Joint Base Combined Arms Training Marksmanship, CATM. All right. Congratulations, Mr. Fairley. Well done.
Awesome. And the next category is the Administrator for CSS of the fourth quarter. So the nominees are there. We got about 6 on the screen. And the winner is Abel Alcantar from the Mission Support Group. Abel was the focal point for 46 private organizations advising over 60 members and ensuring legal compliance for 9 fundraisers. Additionally, Abel coordinated payroll for 203 employees, identifying and correcting 10 discrepancies and training timekeepers to ensure 100% payment accuracy. Congratulations, Mr. Alcantar. Good
well
job.
Done.
Yeah.
Well done. All right. Our next category looks like we're pivoting over to officers. The first one we're going to hit is the Field Grade Officer of the Quarter. For the fourth quarter of last year, the nominees there from Electronic Warfare Group, Med Group, the Operations Group, and Test Professional School are on the screen. I can personally tell you I know all 4 of these officers, and they're all absolutely awesome. And I can tell you that the board that scored your 1206s, I know had a very tough time determining who the winner would be this quarter. But the board did determine one, and that person is, next slide, Major Chris Thorne. He goes by Nacho, by the way.
Nacho.
At 412th Electronic Warfare Group. He has 2 jobs, and he's a mill-to-mill member, part of a power couple, as I would refer to them. Nacho dual-hatted as the 771st Test Squadron Director of Operations and the 412 Test Wing Deputy Director of Special Projects, supporting 115 members on 66 projects valued at $165 million, while also co-authoring a Special Access Program test report for the Secretary of Defense. Additionally, he managed a classified test effort and briefed results to 5 combatant commanders and the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Catch that? 6 4-stars. Ensuring 100% fielding requirements were met. Well done, Nacho. Congratulations.
Good deal. On to the Company Grade Officer of the Quarter nominees. Looks like we have 6 on the screen. And our winner is from the 412th Operations Group, Captain Ryan Lurson. Captain Lurson led F-35's top priority test of the year, completing back-to-back 4.5-hour, 7-ship tests partnered with 3 units over 2 days, verifying classified strategic capabilities. Additionally, he ran Blue 4, which hosted 2 F-35 combat pilots with TPS goals by coordinating operations briefs and linked the test to the mission. Kudos there. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Bolo. Bolo, I'm glad you've reintegrated with the Air Force after your very long exchange tour with the Marines flying F-35Bs. Welcome back. Very proud of you. Congratulations. Our next category, Senior NCO of the Quarter. I'm counting 7 nominees there. All exceptional leaders in their own right. And again, another just crazy competitive category. Our winner, Senior NCO of the Quarter this year, is Master Sergeant Leon Miller from the Medical Group. Master Sergeant Miller stepped up to act in the squadron's senior enlisted leader role for 2 weeks, leading 8 flights, 114 staff, and 522 clinic visits, valued at over $800,000 in care, as well as establishing operations to support the $1.2 billion Air Force hypersonic weapon programs. Additionally, he supported the 412th Med Group inspection team to stress test the continuity of operations readiness for 214 medical warriors. He devised a plan for a $151,000 communication plan to increase the wing's contingency response by an estimated 43%. Very well done, Sergeant Miller. Congratulations.
Good job. Up next is our non-commissioned officer of the fourth quarter nominees. Looks like we have 8.
That's a heavy-hitting bench of 8.
That's right. It's always, like you said,
fine-looking NCOs.
hate to be the board on those. All right, so the winner is from Plant 42, Tech Sergeant Dwayne Morris. Tech Sergeant Morris filled the operations superintendent void for 6 weeks, leading 76 airmen through 98 random access measures drills and 8 random vehicle inspections. Under his leadership, the section secured the Airman Hard Charger Award and 2 Security Forces Annual Awards. Additionally, he led the Squadron Tiger team to standardize requirements for 90 personnel and updating 15 unit OIs. Been hearing a lot about Sergeant Morris, so congratulations to him.
Congratulations, Sergeant Morris. And I will tell you, it's good to see Plant 42 team, as they always do, punching well above their weight class. A lot of folks up here at Edwards that have been affiliated with Edwards don't realize we have a second installation down in Palmdale that we also support. And Sergeant Morris and experts like that, professionals like that, are the ones that keep the mission flowing down there on behalf of the nation.
That's right, sir.
All right. Our next category, Airmen of the Quarter, fourth quarter. Total of 7 nominees from the groups. I see a lot of future exceptional NCOs there. The board decided that, next slide, Senior Airman Trenton Parker was this quarter's winner at the wing level. Airman Parker dominated in an E5 billet, anchoring 8 clinics, supporting 47 staff members, and delivering $1.3 thousand in healthcare to 7,500 enrollees, seizing senior airmen below the zone. Additionally, he led the 412th Med Group decontamination team training for 26 members, driving 3 hands-off drills, fortifying the disaster response capabilities for 241 medics. Congratulations, Senior Airman Parker. Congrats on the below the zone again, and well done, Team Desert Medics.
Woohoo. All right, sir. So our last active duty category, in the Honor Guard category, the winner is for the test wing, Senior Airman Derek Johnson. Airman Johnson was the Honor Guard flight lead, directing 13 veteran and 8 retiree military funeral honors as 2 retirement events, amassing 185 hours of support and bolstered 372 honors rendered. Additionally, he was the -- select for a national feature where he led an 8-member team in a joint service color guard for the Los Angeles Chargers playoff game in from 16.5 million fans.
No pressure there. Well done. Well done, Airman Johnson. All right. We're going to hit one more specialty category, or hit our next specialty category. This is Innovation Team. We have 4 team nominees. We got the Airman Leadership School, an NDI inspection team at the maintenance group. Death Claw, boy, I could talk about Death Claw for a long time. Think of it as a death dot that throws 20-millimeter rounds of love at your enemy out of the barrel of an F-16. And then we have a hackathon team from Test Engineering Group. Our innovation team of the quarter, fourth quarter 2021, is the 416th Flight Test Squadron Hackathon team, combined with, that was nominated by the 412th Test Engineering Group. A good example of how we have home offices matrixed out to CTFs to make it happen on behalf of the installation, our mission, and the warfighter. The 416th Hackathon team won the inaugural Air Force Test Center Data Hackathon, which had the goal to rapidly develop tools to support big data analytics. Their project demonstrated value of the Vault deployment environment. It eliminated timelines for approval of Python packages. And Vault is an acronym, and if I knew what it stood for, I would let you guys know. But when you see members of this hackathon team, ask them, and you are going to walk away smarter and be able to check the box. I learned something today.
Yeah. Awesome. Sir, I think this is the last one. No, maybe not. Up next is the innovator of the fourth quarter. So we have 5 nominees on the screen there for everybody. And the winner from the 412 Operations Group, Captain Aubrey Olson. Captain Olson facilitated the Skyborg program, advancing test and safety planning of aircraft with networked AI and enabled loyal wingman capabilities, artificial intelligence. Additionally, she presented the innovative machine learning research, improving technology literacy for 40 testers, and ensured the unit was ready for future tests. Congratulations.
Well done. And speaking of well done, the Safety Well Done Award for the fourth quarter had 6 nominees. I will tell you that there are lots of things that people do in risk mitigation, risk management, and not all these needed to be what we would call a glove save. But one of them rose above the rest, and that Safety Well Done nominee of the fourth quarter is Sergio Carril Martinez from the 412th Maintenance Group. During an F-35 tech data process validation verification with quality assurance, Sergio Carrillo Martinez performed assembly of an F-35 wheel assembly during the tire shop's bead breaker. During the assembly, using the tire shop's bead breaker, Sergio identified a high potential to pinch the wheel flange against the wheel hub during assembly using the shop bead breaker. After further discussion with quality assurance and shop leadership, all agreed that several caution notes needed to be added to the tech data process for wheel and tire reassembly. These caution notes will affect future maintenance on hundreds, and I would argue thousands, of wheel assemblies annual throughout the world's entire F-35 fleet. Sergio's attention to detail has potential to help save damage to $4.5 million worth of wheel assemblies worldwide per year. Well done, and congratulations. And let me do a quick sidebar real fast. A lot of people don't know that when we say test, we also mean testing tech orders. And that's what this team did, and this was where that discovery happened. I think that's an exceptional story by an exceptional safety well done person. Thank you, and congratulations.
Good job. For the Warfighter of the fourth quarter, so we have our nominees up there. We have 6, very competitive. And the winner is from the 412th Mission Support Group, Danielle Branham. Danielle Branham was the sole log mod technician for the first 412 test wing readiness exercise with COVID limitations. She crafted and monitored the sequence of events for 28 passengers and achieved the Air Force's mission essential taskers. Additionally, she coordinated a short notice training schedule with 3 organizations to ensure the short notice pre-deployment training for 19 personnel was complete within 72 hours of the execution order. Very good job. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Danielle. I think, as I'm flipping through my chart deck, the last category, and certainly last but not least, is a volunteer category. And I don't have a card for volunteer category, but I know all these folks. This category is for folks that go above and beyond, outside of their lane of duty. And I actually spent quality time with Doc Baird yesterday. I have seen and dramatically appreciate Sergeant Siegler's work, and I know of Patricia Castillo in the TMG. But what they do off duty or out of their primary job lane as a volunteer is also equally impressive. Our volunteer of the quarter this quarter is Patricia Castillo of the 412 TMG. And if it's in your deck, I'll let you read it, but I don't have it.
I don't have it.
Oh, so Patricia, I tell you what, we'll send out, and you don't have to. If you were active duty, I'd make you do it. But if you want to come and talk to us about the volunteer work you did at a future town hall, we would love to meet you, and I know everybody else would love to meet you and hear a little bit about what you do to make this community a better place to live through your volunteering. So congratulations, and I can't wait to hear you tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely, sir.
All right, our next category is the spouse of the quarter. 2 nominees from the 412th Mission Support Group and the Test Engineering Group. The winner is Miss Coral Chestnut from the 412th Mission Support Group. Ms. Chestnut fueled the fall job fair by facilitating the venue setup, attended by 53 applicants and enabling recruitment of 12 applicants in critical quality of life jobs. Additionally, she managed customer service for 12 Airmen and Family Readiness Center functions, synchronizing 13 staff members with telecom and walk-in services, supporting 787 members of the Edwards community. Congratulations and well done. I think
that's
next
it.
slide.
Oh, you got
All
an
right,
extra
let's
card.
see what we got. Some special awards that rung in that were quarterly. Go ahead. Boy, I tell you, Chief, and Chief knows this as well. Many of you don't realize how many accolades are rightly earned These are not given, they're earned, that we receive both annually and quarterly. These were some nominees that we pushed up, and we have a couple other charts showing the winners that we've been notified of. So we have, go back a slide for me. Geico, who you know as an auto insurance company, they sponsor a military service award. There are two categories, and our nominees this year for that award and an annual award are Tech Sergeant Lestrap from MSG, and the other nominee for traffic and safety accident prevention is Master Sergeant Mano from the 412th MSG also. Congratulations, you two. I am confident you are highly competitive at the next level, and I hope you can bring home a couple trophies for us.
Absolutely.
Chief, the next one's in your lane, so I'll let you talk about that one.
All right, so for the Air Force Information Dominance Awards, we have our Outstanding Cyber Ops Airman, Senior Airman David Junk from the 412th Test Wing. From the wing, I'm assuming the comm squadron. That would be my guess for the info dom. So kudos, and like the boss said, congratulations at the next level. Hopefully you'll do well there.
All right, and the last category in this chart is the Lance P. Saijan Leadership Award. For those of you that don't know Lieutenant Lance P. Saijan's story, I encourage you, when we get a little boring in this broadcast, or if you don't think we're boring immediately after this broadcast, go Google Lance P. Saijan. It's an amazing story of someone that truly gave their last breath of devotion to our country, and for now decades, in fact, effectively my entire life, has motivated many of us to perform better in environments that are just unbelievably challenging. He's a real hero, and he's a real leader, and it's an honor that we have a Saijan Award in multiple categories named after him. There are nominees at every level, but there's only one winner, and that's at the Air Force level. Our senior officer category nominee is Major Burfing from the 411th Flight Test Squadron. He's a Raptor test pilot, and he does so many more things. One thing that a lot of people don't know about Major Burfing is that he's also a data geek on the side, just for fun, because you can't fly enough high-performance airplanes, be an engineer. You got to be a geek too. So congratulations, Siphon. All right, next slide. The 2021 Outstanding Security Forces Individual Awards nominees are there listed. We got Senior Tab down at Det 1, Security Forces Det 1. That's Plant 42. Congrats, Senior Tab. We have a Security Forces nominee for the Non-Commissioned Officer Award, Tech Sergeant Beck from Security Forces. And the Outstanding Security Forces Support Staff Airman goes to Senior Airman Cheryl. Congratulations, you three. Our 2021 AFE Flight Equipment of the Year Awards go to Senior Airman Shalalabi at the OSS. These are all OSS airmen in that AFE category. Our Senior NCO of the Year, Master Sergeant Suzek, and our the Program of the Year for the MAGCOM is the OSS AFE Large Program of the Year. They are often the winner in that category because they are consistently that good. And I'll tell you, as a person that uses their product every time I fly, I have full faith and confidence and trust, and I'm glad to know that there are such awesome folks like you keeping the rest of us safe. Next slide. All right. A safety award, it's the Colligan Jr. Trophy, goes to the squadron, the 452nd Flight Test Squadron. And another award we found out notification of was the Hap Arnold Award for PA, and that went to this team in the building that we're sitting in right now, Chief.
Give yourselves
let's give everybody virtually, everybody clap their hands online.
Pat yourselves on the back there.
PA professionals. You can't see it right now, but they're all blushing behind the cameras. Well done, PA team. Next chart. All right, I'll let you read this chart. There's the General Mark A. Welsh Award goes to Orange Flag, and then these are all of the Leo Marquez Awards. General Leo Marquez was an early professionalization leader in the maintenance career fields or the logistics career fields back then, and all of these annual awards are named after him. Lots of different categories and all different rank categories as well. There are hundreds of eligible airmen of all ranks for these awards, and so for these folks to be nominated by the group is highly indicative of just how much they've performed or how well they've performed this year. congratulations to all the Leo Marquez winners. Everybody says, well, you're the group, but you're also the wing too. That's not true. We do have some other categories, some other groups that have maintenance professionals, but this happens to be all from maintenance group.
And it shows a test center nom, so
that's correct.
That's
They're
great.
Nominees to this test center to compete there. All right, next slide. Air Force Association Disbro Award in the Outstanding Civilian category. We received notification that Mr. Evan Timmons of the 775th Test Squadron was a winner this quarter. Congratulations, Evan. Next chart. So there's a lot of greatness happening here. There's a lot of greatness that's recognized by the folks that are happening here, and we could not be more proud of you. Before we pivot off of awards, it is always appropriate for me to thank a category of folks that are kind of like the behind-the-scenes professionals in the PA shop. They're the ones that never get out in front of the camera. They don't get the bling, but it just doesn't happen without them. And that is the supervisors, the commanders, the CSSs, the panelists that form the score panels that look at the 1206s, which is the form we use to nominate award winners. The folks that generate, process, and score those 1206s, thank you very much for your time, your attention to detail, and the professionalism that you provide to that. None of these folks' outstanding achievements would be accomplished or recognized without what you do. Thank you very much. All right. I think that's all the prepared remarks here. What I'm going to do, we'll try and direct it in real time here. Do we think we have a link out to the Innovation Center, to the makerspace and to Colonel Gordon with the live thing? All right. So let's try it.
Woo.
Can you hear me now? Do I need to get a headset? Hold on.
Oh, Jeremy's making it. I don't think these are going to be on. Yeah, he said they're not on.
Oh,
But they can hear us now.
They can.
Thumbs
Okay.
up.
Can you
They
hear
can
us?
hear us.
Can you hear us, Laz? All
Boom.
right. So I told everybody in the preamble, if you didn't catch it, that this was Innovation Squared, because you're in an innovation place looking at real innovators doing some really awesome stuff, and we're using an innovative tool in real time as beta testers. So over to you to use the Innovation Squared and talk us about what you see there at the makerspace. All right, so we can see him. I'm not hearing him. If we can hear him in virtual land, great. Nothing like beta testing. That's why we test.
That's why we test, right?
Yeah, that's why we test. This is a first, right? And not all firsts go flawless, but they are all firsts.
We can get a phone a friend to let us know if they were able to hear him. That's the important thing.
Okay, yeah. So that was 1 second. Nothing like hand signals. Okay, the good news is we had 3 things to do today. So while we're working that audio issue with Colonel Gordon out at Makerspace, we're going to take a couple questions from Master Sergeant Nielsen that you have texted in, or I guess not called, but texted in. If you do want to text in a comment or a question, that number is area code 707-412-8922. It's the number that appears in the bottom left corner of your screen there in the banner. And you're welcome to text that in even when we're not live and on the air, and it'll be there the next time we have a live town hall session. So 707-412-8922. The person manning that number and relaying your questions or comments is none other than Master Sergeant Nielsen. So what do you have for us, Jeremy?
Yes, sir. The first question is in relation to the HPCon changes, specific to HPCon changes in relationship to maskwear, and then the other one is the trusted escort program with members getting escorted on base.
Okay. Want me to just talk to the 2 topics?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'll hit the second one first. Security Forces refers to it as Trusted Traveler. Trusted Traveler is if I flash an ID card at the gate to a Security Forces member and it's a valid ID card, when we have enabled or enacted Trusted Traveler, the Security Forces member assumes that everybody in the car with me is good to go, and effectively we are expediting folks onto the base or through the gate based on the integrity of the person that's flashing the ID card. As many of you know, that sometimes we have a sign up at the gate that says 100% ID checks, and at that point we have to get everyone's pass or everyone's ID or a CAT card at the gate. But when we don't have 100% ID checks up at the gates, and we are using Trusted Traveler, that's what it does there. It puts a lot of trusted traveler, takes a little bit of pressure off security forces at the gate. It potentially expedites the line a little bit at the gate, and it places a little bit more requirement or emphasis on the person escorting the escort onto the base. And there are some restrictions that a lot of folks certainly know, and we have very good compliance with that. So when do we go back to trusted traveler? Well, I haven't decided that yet. I'm talking to my Defense Forces commander a lot, Major Josh Frizzell. He's the Security Forces Squadron commander, but he also dual hats as our installation Defense Forces commander. And so if there was an event that was something requiring action by the defenders, he's the person making the tactical decisions, and he has some legitimate command authority that he can execute in real time at the tactical level without touching base with anyone else on the installation, including me or anyone on my behalf. And so Josh and I have talked about going back to Trusted Traveler when we get to a lower HPCon level. We have not yet implemented that. And therefore, if you need to get on the installation and you don't have an ID card, you need to go to visitor control and get a pass. One thing that you will all note, and I'll bridge to HPCon, is that at HPCon Bravo and Charlie, the lowest level that can approve visitors is the squadron command team level. And so if you have a visitor that you want to bring on, work with your squadron leadership team at Bravo, which I'll get to. We are at Bravo as of the beginning of this broadcast. And they should be able to help get you through the gate in an orderly fashion. And the longer lead time you can work that, the easier it'll be for everyone to include pass and ID or visitor control, and also for you and for your visitor, for your guest. Now, if you're hearing me say that and you aren't affiliated with a squadron on the installation, contact security forces, contact visitor control, and let them know what your scenario is. We apply the reasonable person and reasonable access concept. If you need to be on Wednesday, not in a visitor status, and you have an ID card, you're welcome to be here. If you need to have somebody with you, so there was an example of a retiree a while back that he needs handicap parking, and he tries to bring someone with him to help him do his shopping. If you contact us through the Retiree Affairs Office by texting in your name and contact information to that number, 707-412-8922, right there. Look at that, right there. Here's who I am, here's my scenario, I need access and I need to bring a visitor. Someone will contact you and we'll see what we can work out. And so those are ways that we can get folks onto base that need to be on the base, even if they don't have an ID card and they don't otherwise have eligibility until we get back to a trusted traveler scenario. So I hope that covers the trusted traveler question. I'll pivot to the earlier one, the first one, Jeremy. It was just, what's HPCon change? Is that effectively the question?
HPCon change, sir, yes, but with specific to maskwear.
So there is no connection between health protection condition and the requirement to wear a mask. And the reason that they're not connected is that health protection conditions are based on any pathogen or anything that could be a threat to humans. If it wasn't something that was transmitted via breathing, or it was a lung or a sinus or some type of a respiratory illness, we wouldn't have masks at all, and therefore the two wouldn't be connected naturally. So they are not connected. And I kind of alluded to it in the answer to my last question, but as of, looks like 55 minutes ago, the installation is officially moved from HPCon Bravo Plus to HPCon Bravo. The primary difference there are going to be things like number of folks or the percentage of seats that can be filled at restaurants and a few other items like that. And we're going to stabilize at Bravo, make sure all the trend lines stay good in the local area and on the base. And then I can see in the not too distant future, I'm not going to name a date or name a time, but I can see in the not too distant future that Alpha is in order. There's another thing that is likely going to happen between now and the time that we are able to go to Alpha, and that is we're going to get infection rates in the local area and on the installation down below thresholds that are categorized as not high, not severe, but when we go from severe to moderate, and hopefully we trend to low and stay there. When we get into moderate or lower, then the authority to decide if we need to wear masks or not on the installation goes back to the installation commander once we're at moderate. And so I'm looking forward to having that option given back to me and my authority. And when the numbers allow me to do that, I'll seriously consider that action, and we'll update the installation command directive on mask wear when appropriate. And it's not an if, it's a when appropriate. I want to foot stomp a couple things. Right now, there's really no requirement on a DoD installation to wear a mask outside. So I see a lot of folks in the parking lot or outside wearing their masks. That's okay, right? But there's no requirement unless you're going to be, close aboard to somebody else, or I guess the last few days, because it keeps your face warm, right? So I was outside yesterday morning. It was 16 degrees on the flight line at sunrise, and I was very happy to have this mask on my face because my ears got a little cold, but at least my face stayed warm. So there isn't, and there hasn't been a requirement to wear a mask when you're in an outdoor environment, and that kind of gets to the how do you mitigate the spread of COVID? That hasn't changed in quite a while, and it's the SMARTS acronym. Maskwear is only the M in SMARTS, so there's other things in that list as well. You can get to that acronym on the edwards.af.mil website. Go to COVID, and then there's a little chart there. We push it out in many other venues as well. So there's many mitigations there. Masks are only one of them. Airflow is another one. Minimize the amount of time you're with other folks, etc. The last S in SMARTS, though, is shots. So the mandate for masks indoors on DoD installations goes back to me, mask removal for those that are fully vaccinated. I do not have the authority to remove the requirement for mask wear for those that are not fully vaccinated. As we broadcast on the 25th of February, 2022, fully vaccinated is only the initial dose series. So if it's J&J, that's one. If it's Pfizer or Moderna, that's the 2 shots, and that's it. You're fully vaccinated. It does not address any booster eligibility yet, even though we know that if you're fully vaxxed and boosted, you are much less likely to get infected, much less likely to transmit the infection, much less likely to be hospitalized and die from the infection as well. So shots are our primary line of defense against the virus. High quality masks, good masks, are another way to help mitigate that when you're indoors where you don't have great airflow. And so I want to make sure that we talk about all of those in conjunction together, not just masks by themselves. So the mandate can go away as soon as the infection numbers get down below a certain threshold for those that are vaccinated, for those that are fully vaccinated. And I'll be happy to make that decision, and we'll get that announcement out as soon as it's applicable. But it is not connected to an HPCon level. If it does appear at the same time as changing from Bravo to Alpha, that's fine, but they're not directly connected. So that's my thought on that question. Jeremy, you think I hit that? Person texting it in. If we didn't hit it, give us a little more. Give me a grade there, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. I think you're good to go.
All right. So I'm told, I got a thumbs up from behind the booth, that we think we have the audio connection with Colonel Gordon fixed. So we'll do take 2 of the test setup here. Laz, how you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, sir. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you too. Chief's excited.
Okay.
All right, over to you.
All right, hey, wouldn't be experimenting if it worked the first time.
Very, very true.
Yeah, if it actually worked, yeah, it would be doing. It wouldn't be experimenting. So hello, everyone. Hey, I'm Colonel Gordon Laz over here at the makerspace. And if you don't know where this is over where the old commissary was for Edwards Air Force Base. So if you know where the post office is, or Subway, or Domino's, we're right next to that particular spot. This is open for airmen on the base to come over and do some really interesting stuff. So really what I wanted to do is show a couple of different innovations today for just a couple of minutes. One is, hey, Mac, if you wouldn't mind, would you mind grabbing the camera real quick? And we will introduce Adam. Adam is a new hire here for our public affairs team. So welcome, Adam. How you doing? He's coming here from Mississippi. He was a weatherman in a prior life. So good stuff. So we wanted to say hi to Adam, but then also to model this new technology that allows us to broadcast from anywhere on Edwards Air Force Base. Yeah, you bet. So it's good stuff. So on the back, Mac, so essentially this is a 4G network connection, right, that connects in. And so it allows us to broadcast anywhere we have a good 4G link established, right?
It's very, very cool.
Yep. So it's a lightweight, fully enclosed studio, if you will. Again, this will be great for a number of different events, not the least of which is our upcoming air show later on this October. So again, Mac, thanks a lot. And if you can give the camera back to Adam real quick.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you, Adam. It's good stuff. And what I wanted to do was introduce you to Phil. So Phil's over here at Makerspace. Phil, if you could just tell him a little bit about yourself here.
I'm a programmer for the A12 TSS. But this week we've been just working on a little coding class, so introducing some people to Python, using these little robots to get the point across.
You bet. So sometimes a lot of guys kind of misconstrue what makerspace is really all about. And I view it personally as a strategic imperative. When we start talking about the airmen of the future, we expect airmen to be very, very disciplined across a lot of different areas, not just whatever career field that they're a part of. And coding languages like C++ or Java or Python in this case, Python is essentially the base language of artificial intelligence kind of applications. And so here we're using it as a means with which to get airmen into the right mode of being prototypers, of experimenting, of being fluent in these types of computer languages, and to be able to make things, right? And not necessarily just to sit by and wait for things to come, but to be able to build them on their own. So with the Python language, we wanted to show a little bit of kind of what we're doing with the robots here. So Phil, if you wouldn't mind just joining me over here. So if we could talk a little bit about the robot and kind of what's going on here and how you use this as part of your coding class.
Yeah, so one of the assignments was just to get the robot to follow a line. So it has 5 sensors in the front, and you can see the green lights in the front are lighting up when it sees the line, and then it just kind of adjusts the wheels to adjust its orientation and follow that line around.
You bet. So good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up here for just a second. So what you see is kind of a neat mixture of coding and robotics and sensors on the back here. So there's LEDs and then light sensors on the back that look to see where that line is, and this can all be coded. So it's pretty neat stuff. So I'll put it back down and let it continue on its path. Real quick, let's go over. We'll talk a little bit about the additive manufacturing real quick, and I want to introduce you to Sergeant Hakeem, who is he is what I would call a Renaissance man. Because he is cultured and done a lot of cool things, especially over in Med Group, and he teaches a number of really, really great classes over at Club Muroc from time to time. And so it's no surprise that we come over to the makerspace, and Sergeant Hakeem is here with us as well. So what we wanted to do is just show a little bit of the additive manufacturing, and if you want to just say a couple words real quick about what you're working on.
So far what we're working on right now is to code the robot to make some noise, make it, dance or kind of go in a 360 model, and then while it's going through 60 model, have the lights go off, and on top of that, make some sound. So this is from just what I learned today, and it's all on my own fruition, so you can make it do whatever you want it to do.
Yeah, it's really neat stuff. And what I've always been a big fan of is 3D printing. I saw this for the first time about 20 years ago, but it was super expensive, very, very high-end gear that only very, very well-off companies could have. And now this is something that we can purchase, and you can make a number of different things. Everyone knows who this character is. But then we also have a number of things also that airmen have produced up here, and then some stuff that's currently over on the production floor, if you will, for just some stuff to make. So overall, this is just some pretty cool stuff. And I wanted to go back to Phil. Thanks, Sergeant Hakeem. I appreciate that. And really, for the last thing I wanted to do is just talk a little bit about how airmen can get involved over here. If you just wanted to talk a little bit about the most recent advertisement that came out in FSS and how people can get engaged here.
Sure, yeah. It was just an email sent out to join this coding boot camp, but you can contact any one of the innovation team, and they can tell you more about how to get in. There's free access to anyone in any of the airmen. The place is yours to use.
You bet. So again, this is great stuff, sir. I wanted to kick it back over to you. But again, thanks for the PA team for prototyping something cool. It's great that it worked. And again, thanks for our makerspace team and everyone that comes over here and does really cool things with robots and coding. And again, this is something that we just do as a matter of course in the Air Force. I mean, we are innovators by default. And so it's really great that you could come to a place like Edwards and we can repurpose the space and make it into a prototyping lab that's available for airmen to come use. So, sir, back over to you.
Thanks, Laz. Fantastic. I see a place like that, and I think about that's like the 21st century version of the wood shop that I was in junior high and high school, and so amazing how far the tools have progressed. But it's the same. Hey, what can I do literally with my brain and my hands today? Mm-hmm. And that's just that's truly an amazing capability that exists. And it's accessible to everyone. The hours aren't exactly what we would all hope it to be, but when the demand signal increases, we can put some more resources there and make sure that we have access to it when folks are interested to be there. And really, just what do you want to learn? What do you want to teach yourself? What do you want to explore? Chief, I don't know if everybody heard Chief, but when the little robot was going off, so pivot over to the camera for her. Say that again when you saw the little robot.
It was like the Roomba. I don't think my room was that smart though. That robot is pretty smart.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm definitely not as smart as the person that got to build the robot and then code the robot. What an awesome capability, and they're going to see applicability. So one of the awesome things about innovation is that it doesn't have to be a new iPhone. It doesn't have to be a new mode of hypersonic weapon propulsion, right? Innovation can be seeing something in one area and going, wait a minute, I remember how to do that, and I think it would really solve a problem over here. Mm-hmm. And I think that type of just simple little improvements, simple little concepts are really, really ripe for that.
Sir, I think the word innovation intimidates some people. They think that's for smart people, or that only smart people they're not smart enough to be included in that crowd. But anybody can be an innovator, and that's the point. Like everybody needs to be thinking about how to do things smarter and better. It's just that simple.
I agree. And another thing that I have certainly appreciated personally over years now, and I observe as well, if even no matter how creative you are and how talented you are, if you're trying to think of everything by yourself, you're not going to get there, or you're not going to be as efficient or as effective as if you start teaming with other folks. And if you are paired up with someone that's almost identically like you, you're not going to have the same level of output or thoughts or ideas as if you find someone that is completely different background, maybe a different rank, different career field, something like that. And that diversity of background and diversity of experience on your team will get you places that you can't get by yourself, or if you build a very monolithic team.
I can certainly attest to that working with Sergeant Nielsen. I think we've solved some real big world issues in that office just because we're bouncing ideas off of each other. We just need some resources and we could save the world.
Yeah, a comm troop and a cop.
Conquer the world.
Can't hold them back, right? Yeah, good stuff. And folks, thanks for being a part of that first ever demo of that Colonel Gordon had in the backpack there. I do want to. I had a quick thought while he was talking about 4G service, and we can broadcast anywhere from on Edwards Air Force Base. Hey, raise your hand if you drive out the West Gate, and you don't lose cell service. No,
right?
I do every time I drive.
Said nobody.
Nobody raises their hand. Kudos isn't a big enough word, but we have a deliberate effort that has taken a few steps over the last 3 to 4 years that I think is actually going to deliver service out the West Gate. There are 2 towers going in. Next time you drive out Rosamond Boulevard on the West Gate, just past the current museum, as you're headed west on your right side, you'll notice a new tower is up. That, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, is a new cell tower. The tower's up, the pipes are in. We need to get the antennas up and then make that opportunity available to one of our service providers. So think Verizon, AT&T, Sprint.
Verizon, if I had to.
Yeah. I mean, they have to. We build it and they will come. But so the tower's up, the pipes are in, and now we need to write contracts or provide access to one of the service providers for that tower. That'll extend out somewhere closer to Rosamond Dry Lake Bed. And then at the West Gate, in the new museum area, there's another tower that is just behind it in construction phase that's also going up. Once those 2 towers are up, we have antennas on them, and we have providers that are connected there. I don't know if I can say it, but you might actually be able to hold a cell phone call hands-free as you drive from the West Gate into the base and vice versa. That'll be nice for those of us that drive that road often, especially for those of us that drive that road twice a day. But the real benefits out there will be things like crash response or first responder activity or things like that. And that's a really, really big benefit and a large gap that we'll finally be able to fill. There are a couple other nulls or low coverage rates for different services on the base that we're trying to backfill too. But that's the big one. And I look forward to being able to watch the bars on my cell phone not go to 0 on the drive out and the drive back in every day. And then we'll laugh about, hey, you remember when we used to go through the Valley of Death? And we can talk about it in historical fashion. And we'd be able to take one of those backpacks out there and broadcast live from out there at the new museum site, which would be pretty cool. Maybe we'll do it in the future episode. So it's exciting. All right, Jeremy, I do have something I want to walk on, but I don't want to shortchange any questions that have shown up. So are there any more that you want to tee up for Chief? Because I'm not answering anymore. I'm done. I've hit my allotment for the day.
No, sir, I think we're good.
You good?
Yes, sir.
See, if you'd have kept it, there'd have been 2 questions.
Okay. Folks, if you do have a question, I encourage you to text it in, 707-412-8922. As I mentioned, just before I walked over here, I got an email that's the base memo, and is signed by Lieutenant General Kelly. He's the Air Force A1. And one of the things that I find fascinating about how well we as a department and we as a service care for airmen is highlighted by this. But there are two things happening right now. One of them that was a part of this email and part of this policy was re-emphasizing to commanders, directors, supervisors, so basically leave approving officials, that in the 2017 National Defense Authorization Act, or the 2017 NDAA, the law allowed service members the flexibility to take either primary caregiver leave, which is 6 weeks, so it's either primary caregiver 6 weeks, or secondary caregiver leave, which is 3 weeks, on some qualifying events. And the traditional one is birth or adoption of a child. So it's if you're a mill-to-mill couple and you have a child show up in your life, congratulations, by the way. Those are joyous events in my household. One of you gets to designate yourself as the primary caregiver, and that's 6 weeks, and the other one gets to designate you as the secondary caregiver, and that's 3 weeks. So if you wanted to, you could string those in series and do 6 + 3, 9 weeks with your new child. I think that is a fantastic opportunity that you don't get in many, if any, civilian organizations out in the world, and certainly wasn't something that existed when my kids were in these single-digit weeks and months. Chief, I think you're in the same remember. So we've made some tremendous progress there. That's good for families, and if it's good for families, that's good for the Air Force.
That's right.
And I think that's super important. So 6 weeks for the primary, 3 weeks for the secondary. The important thing that General Kelly wanted us as commanders and chiefs and supervisors to highlight is that you, as the parent, get to decide if you're the primary or the secondary. That is not my decision. That is not anybody else's decision but yours. You can't flip-flop to get two primaries, clearly. But once you make the decision on who's the primary and who's the secondary, you tell us, and then process your leave as you would for any other of those events. And that's an important foot stomp there. So that's a good news story, quick update, and a quick directive there. The other thing that I want to highlight is that the law has changed again. It was the FY22 NDAA that has just passed. It eliminates these primary and secondary caregiver slots. Pause for dramatic effect. You mean they're taking them away? No. They actually eliminated primary and secondary because now, in accordance with the law that just passed, service members can take 12 weeks of non-chargeable leave for a qualifying birth event, adoption, or for foster care. So there's no more differentiation between a primary caregiver and a secondary caregiver in the law that was just passed. Much like many laws, like tax laws, they pass the law and then somebody else has to figure out how to implement it. We don't yet have implementation guidance or messaging on that. We expect that to show up in the Air Force after the Office of the Secretary of Defense gets a chance to flesh out the policy, and then the A1s or the DPs of the world give us implementation or rollout guidance. But it goes from, in the case of a primary caregiver, it goes from 6 weeks to 12 weeks in accordance with the law that was passed this calendar year. So more good news for families. And how our feedback to the leadership of, not just in Congress, but our feedback to the leadership of the departments is being heard, and we're making it better for airmen. All right. I thought that was pretty cool, and I was very proud to get it here today. So I guess maybe Leslie and I decided to have another kid, right?
I mean, why not?
I mean, why not, right? Well, maybe why not, because we're in our 50s now. But
Well, that's the thing now. There's no age anymore. There's no cutoff.
Yeah. It doesn't. It says it doesn't include fur babies, so maybe we'll get more of those. But that's okay. Hey, folks, we're out of minutes. Jeremy, one last check. Anything rung in?
Yes, sir. There was a request for clarification on the policies regarding the housing wait list rules and approval authority for variance changes to those rules.
Yeah, so I'm going to phone a friend.
Copy.
So what I encourage you to do is I encourage you to talk to the housing office. If you walk into, you can physically walk into the Mojave Sky Community Center, which is owned by operated by Mayroad, née Corvius. And as you walk in the front door, take 2 immediate lefts, and that's where we have U.S. government civilian employees that work for the civil engineering group there. There are 3 or 4 desks in there, and there's usually at least 2 of them in there. I encourage you to go in there and ask your questions. If they either don't know the specific answers or you're not satisfied with those questions, they can direct you to the installation housing officer. Her name is Miss Melody Couch, and she should be able to answer your questions. If you choose not to or don't want to talk to the housing office, and that's okay, you have a resident advocate. Her name is Miss Christina Roach, and they can also give you her information on how to get through to Christina Roach. Christina Roach works directly for the installation vice commander, and so if that's a parallel path to get definitive answers on how that policy and process works. There is a defined algorithm or a defined process on how we determine who's next to get a house that's offered on base, but there are ways and authorities that we have and do use to jump people up on the list. Certainly that is not without regret, because right now it's a fixed pie. We only have so many residences.
Sure.
And so those decisions are made, but they're not made lightly. So I hope that kind of gives you the direction on the phone a friend without making any false steps for the guy that isn't an expert in that domain. Thanks for bringing that up. Jeremy, any others that you want to hit or you recommend we hit before we call it a day?
No, sir.
All right. Chief, I'll let you throw out your thoughts as we look at that gorgeous Takata 2 skyline.
So, sir, I guess I can't help but to think about what's happening in the news. And I've already talked to the first sergeants, and my plan was to hit the chiefs next as we talk to all of our leaders about what our folks might be thinking or wondering in regards to what's happening out in the world with Ukraine, Russia, or whatever. And so just as always, when things are getting a little, nerve-wracking, reminding people to take care of each other, hunker down and ask questions or provide that comfort. Have these conversations that are just necessary for any relationship. Communication is just so vital. And so if you're having issues or if you have concerns, just reach out, talk to your peers, your supervisors, mentors, whatever that might be. Leadership is a good place to start too, first sergeants or whatever. And if you need helping agencies, those are available as well. Mm-hmm. And we have lots of folks that can point you in the right direction to get to those. And we just need to take care of each other.
I agree. It is not lost on me that as I was driving over here, driving to work this morning, that I hear updates on what's happening in Ukraine, and I don't have much more information than you have publicly available to you right now. Mm-hmm. As well. There's a little bit more in the classified realms that's available, but not a whole lot more. I'll tell you one thing that I am extremely proud of that we have done as Americans in this event is that we've not been shy about presenting publicly, to the world, to the public, the results of our highly classified and exquisite intelligence. That strategic tactic is called shaming. When Russia says, "Oh no, we're pulling troops back," and then we through intelligence means can say, well, that's actually not in fact what they're doing. In fact, they're doing just the opposite, and we can share that with the world. Not just with our partners and allies in a classified forum and not just behind closed doors, but we can actually share that publicly and with the world. I think that is a strategic advantage to be able to let the truth be known and to let data be known and let folks make their own impressions and decisions based on that. I highlight that for a couple reasons. One, that is a competitive advantage of Western democracies and of your nation and your society that you have a lot to be proud of. But it is not one that is guaranteed, and it was one that was hard fought to win, and we need to make sure that we don't slip and lose that. Right? And that's a big thing. And the second thought I have there is that, I'm going to be a little bragging on the service here, who delivers a lot of that capability to the national decision makers. It's folks in the Department of the Air Force, our Guardians and our Airmen that do that. And I am so proud to be a member of their team as they deliver decision quality information. We talk about that usually in test as decision quality information for acquisition decision makers, but no joke, Airmen and Guardians are delivering decision quality information to the President and the National Command Authorities in places like Ukraine and all over the world, literally every day. We're proud of you. We're proud to support you, and we're proud to be on your team. I'll end with dovetailing what Chief said there. If this situation in Europe is bothering you and you're concerned about the future, or you're concerned about COVID, or you're concerned about any of these other things, don't keep it to yourself. There are a lot of people that care more for you than you could possibly imagine, including the two of us here on screen with you today. If you want to talk to someone and you just don't know where else to turn, right there. There's a number on the screen right there. 707-412-8922. Text in how we get a hold of you. Great. Helping Agencies icon. Go to a website. There's all kinds of places you can turn to, and we are here for you. We are here to help you for many reasons, but not the least of which is that we truly care about you. We're glad to be a part of your team and your life, and we're so proud to have you on ours. With that, I'll wish everyone a great weekend. With any luck, that was the last cold snap of the winter.
I don't know if I can trust that. I've heard that before.
I'm not a weatherman, but we got a weather in the PA shop with Colonel Gordon right now.
That's
so maybe,
right.
maybe the guy from Mississippi can tell us a little bit more. But no, that with any luck, that was our last cold snap. I think we need one more good shower.
I was going to say, was that enough rain for the poppies?
I think we need one more good shower to get the poppies. I'll let the locals correct me on that. But if that's the case, this could be a really good season for poppies like 2020 was. And then the things orange